Welcome to Hip Hop Now Podcast. If you're from the future, you know what to do. Get your ass out of here. Don't disrespect the legend. Hip hop is here to stay. Let's get right into the business. What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of a Hip Hop Now Podcast bonus episode in conjunction with Apartment 5B Podcast and EntertheDome.com Podcast. It's the Avengers of podcasting. Y'all know what it is. Don't want no smoke. Don't got a black belt, so he can whoop your ass. We don't mean Kil don't got to do shit. He'll just whoop your ass and he'll be done. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, we want to welcome the guests in here first and foremost. My birthday brother. We just put a project out, Best Style Vintage Volume 1.
Yes,
Kil, Apartment 5B. What's good, brother?
Yo, man, just still up here on a high from turning 50, man. I mean, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was struggling with it leading up to it, but you know, God kind of put it on my heart that, you know, 50 and up is like the third verse of your life. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, you know, the hip hop we grew up on, the third verse was sometimes the dopest verse. You know what I mean? So it kind of took me from a place of being like, damn, I'm old, to being like, nah, this is my third verse. Like, you know what I mean? If y'all thought the first and second verse, if the 20s and the 40s, 30s and the 40s was dope, wait till y'all see the 50s. So now I'm hyped. So yeah, everything's good. How was your birthday, bro?
It was uneventful given the fact that I had a damn toothache, but can't complain. I could have been in a worse situation. You know, I was alive and well. I still ate some cake though. I just ate on one side. Like I wasn't supposed to about that. You know, but I'm good. Tone from EntertheDome.com, that time in hip hop was good, brother.
Man, everything good, man. I guess my connection is going bad, man. But look, man, happy birthday again, bro. Yeah, look, I'll be 50 next year, man. And you know, Jay-Z said the only thing worse than getting old, not getting old. So we blessed, man. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But on my end, man, everything good, man. Fam good. No complaints, man. Let's get it.
Let's go.
All right. So if you've been somewhere under a hip hop rock, you know, or you too grown to be on Twitter and social media arguing like some of these other kids that like to jump in Kil's DMs and on his timeline, he fighting for his timeline, Tone fighting on his timeline because y'all want to talk about it. We're going to talk about what's been going on with this big three with J. Cole and Drake, kind of like, you know, setting things off, if we want to be real, right? With a lot of subliminals and we number one talks. A big shout out to the homie Ock. Me and him had a long discussion about this, you know, the whole situation. So for those who don't know, the timeline from what I can see as far as the start of what's happening currently, and not all the subliminals from years past, is Drake basically made an alliance with J. Cole that seemed sincere and respectful, but then turned into a lot of subliminals towards their enemies, so to speak, in a hip-hop game. And first and foremost, Metro Boomin and Future felt some kind of way, not only about that, but Future felt some kind of way about Drake doing an album with 21 Savage when he wanted to do a follow-up to their album. And, you know, rightfully so. They've had a lot of success together. So they do an album called We Don't Trust You. And not in the track listing, but featured on that album is a song that featured Kendrick Lamar going in at Drake and J. Cole about subliminals, being very direct to set this off. And everybody waited basically to see whether Drake will respond, whether, you know, J. Cole will respond. And we waited and waited. And well, Drake said a lot of moist shit on stage that us in hip hop, we don't want to hear all that shit. Like, yo, this nigga, he talking to you. But J. Cole decided, here's my mixtape or album, whatever it's supposed to be. And a song called 7 Minute Drill, where he addressed Kendrick Lamar and a diss record. And it seemed like, okay, cool. You know, the battle's on. There's a response and blah, blah, blah. But today, or last night, J. Cole decided to apologize, calling his diss record lame and saying he's going to take it off of streaming services. Kil, I'm going to start with you first. when you got news that this is where we were, what were your thoughts?
Here's the funny thing, bro. I woke up this morning to wild tweets about, yo, Kil, what you think about J. Cole apologizing? I thought the nigga was on some Diddy shit. I thought some allegations came against him because I'm like, what else? What are you apologizing for? Like, what has he done to apologize? Like, I'm totally lost and oblivious. And people like, nah, he apologized to Kendrick. And I'm like, the fuck he do to Kendrick? Like, what happened? And it's like, nah, the diss record. And I'm like, stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me. I don't want to hear nothing about that, bro. I'm so disappointed in hip hop. I'm so disappointed. And to quote Cole, of course, I'm trying to revive a sport that's dying. That's what he said. He said he was trying to revive a sport that's dying. And I'm talking to people on Twitter, and people are like, no, because he said it didn't feel right in his spirit. And see, here's the thing, Veg and Tone, the thing that I've realized in 2024 is there are certain words that are just buzzwords that if you say, you can get away with anything. So when Ben Simmons was like, my mental health, everybody's like, okay, nobody say nothing bad about Ben Simmons. It's his mental health. You can't say nothing bad. Like it's his mental health. The other card people like to play is the spiritual card. Because people are like, well, Kil, it didn't feel right in the spirit. And I said, this nigga been talking about him being the GOAT rapper, the best rapper. Again, to quote J. Cole, fucking on God, the best rapper alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's his quote. So where was your spirit then? There wasn't no humbleness to your spirit to say, nah, that's J. Cole's. That's his MO. It's almost remind me vague of when Angel Reese did all that crying last week at the podium. It's like, shorty, you've been a bully all this time. Now all of a sudden you take the L. Now it's like you got death threats and you got this. And again, I'm sorry that anybody has to go through that. Any athlete, especially a young woman, especially somebody of her age. But you talk shit. You was talking shit to coaches. You was talking shit to grown women. See, so there's a rule in my teen center. You curse at me, I get to curse back. This is a back and forth. So just understand that you cross that line, you an adult now if you want to play that game. So it's just so ironic that we're here with Cole, and it's just funny because people online, the vast majority of people I saw was like, yo, this was whack. And one thing at 50 I don't believe in is coincidences. So it's a coincidence that you responded. Niggas wasn't feeling this shit. Now it don't sit right in your spirit. Nah, bro. This is possibly the weakest shit I've ever seen in hip hop. And I think a lot of the young people are looking at it like, well, we don't need another Big and Pac. And I'm like, that wasn't a rap battle. That was some street shit that rappers were a part of. That wasn't a rap battle. You know what I mean? KRS and Shan never had problems. Mo D and LL ain't never had problems. We have countless rap battles where it was just that it's a rap battle. And on top of that, y'all, we talking about J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. The fucking worst thing that's gonna happen is somebody's not gonna get invited to some kid's birthday party. Like, that is the worst that is gonna happen. If these was two street niggas, like some real shit, I wouldn't have no problem with it. Cause I'm like, yo, this shit could get out of hand. Somebody could die from this. Yeah, apologize. Take the, But these three niggas, like, come on, y'all, stop. So I'm hurt. This is hard. I feel like this is horrible for hip hop. I put on Twitter today, Streets is dead. I felt the same way when Alpo came home and was just running around Harlem. I'm like, yo, Streets is dead. Like this. Yeah. And again, I'm not wishing death. I'm not condoning anything or nothing, but I'm just like, you can't have this boy's, track record and just be walking the streets of Harlem free. Like, Streets is dead. Like, this is hip hop now. Like, this is what somebody's looking at this like, yo, I'm gonna make it this track and then I'm gonna apologize for it. Like, nah. This ain't the way the game. Like Avon said, that ain't how the game is played. This is a competitive sport. If you don't want to compete, sit your ass down. You know how a coach have a player on the floor and they're not playing hard, and it's like, sit your ass down over here next to me if you ain't ready to compete. If you ain't ready to compete, shut the fuck up with all this best rapper, nobody ever killed Jermaine on the track, all this. You can't talk all this shit. Now you want to get spiritual and it don't sit right in your spirit. It felt right in your spirit for 10 years to talk all this shit about how nice you was. But now it don't sit right in your spirit. Nah, nigga, take that shit somewhere the fuck
else. Tone, I sent you the like dumb early in the morning. I was up. I was going to the gym. I was like, nah, we might have to jump on the screen and talk about this. when you first got noticed, and then when you watched the video of J. Cole apologizing, what did you think about the whole situation?
First things first, man, I appreciate you sending that to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was getting ready to commute, and I looked at it, and then I went on Twitter, and I was like, okay, so people been talking about it for a couple of hours. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea, and initially I was shocked because I was like, where is this coming from? Like, what would possess you to get on stage? You know what I'm saying? After all of these little shots at each other and subliminals and go here. I mean, you really bowed out. I don't even want to say bowed out gracefully, man. What happened? Like, we'll never know what really went through this dude's head to get on stage and say what he said. Now, with that being said, I'm torn. The hip hop head in me is like, you know what? Nah, bro. You put your hand out there. You got to go ahead now and finish the job. You know what I'm saying? You can't throw these little subliminals. And like Kil said, for the last couple of years, on every dope verse J. Cole did, he said he was the one. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're the one, if you Ric Flair, baby, got that gold belt, you got to defend that title. You know what I'm saying? So he put himself out there. He should have just, if you're going to do this, let Drake say something there and don't you say shit. You know what I'm saying? So the hip hop part of me is like, man, you know what? You put your hand out there, just like Big Daddy Kane said on that Beef DVD way back in the day. He said 2 MCs can't be in the same room saying they're the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the way hip hop work. You know what I'm saying? Same way and he was talking about also when Kool Moe Dee and Busy B was at the Harlem World joint, and Busy B was doing a battle and Kool Moe Dee was MCing it. But then Busy B said, I'm the nicest in here. And Mo D was like, nicest who? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm the nicest in here. You know what I'm saying? So put that Bob bullshit on hold. You know what I'm saying? So, MC, the competition, J. Cole, he bowed out. But let me say this, fellas. What a lot of people on Twitter don't really understand is Kendrick Lamar is a battle MC. And this is what I mean by that. People looking at Section 80, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, his socially conscious joints, and forget K-Dot from Compton. See, I remember K-Dot from Compton. I had the mixtapes when he was doing the Vanity Slaves and all this shit like that way back in the day. Kendrick rapped like a battle rapper when he was early on trying to get on. Same way when he did the damn Control verse, asking for smoke from everybody. Same way when he did that damn BET Cypher and basically said anybody can get it. Same way he threw these shots at Cole and Drake. Kendrick is with the smoke, and he waited for them niggas to come outside. That's the difference. Kendrick ain't go on stage and apologize to nobody. Kendrick went in the studio and said, fuck the big three, it's me.
Yeah.
And cats back down. Drake been going on stage saying this little silly shit, and J. Cole go on stage and basically apologize. So right now it's looking like niggas are scared of Kendrick Lamar.
It's looking real light skin. It's looking real light skin right now. Like,
now in the West Coast sun and the East Coast right now.
they looking real bad. Yo, I mean, as an MC and as a J. Cole fan,
I'm NC.
I was like, yo, what? Like, I was like, you killed. Like, well, let me read. Maybe something happened. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's people outside of rap riling up to do something, and he's trying to end it. But then when I watched the video, I couldn't even watch no more. I literally had to turn it off because I was like, yo. For example, I said earlier today in my conversation with like, yo, Kendrick does a lot of concepts, a lot of conscious music and stuff like that. But he's showing you I'm still K-Dot from Compton.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I got the coast on my back. I'm with the smoke. But this is what I do. This is my art.
Right.
Even Drake says, yo, I'm over here. I'll make a pop record. I'll make this kind of record, trendy, blah, blah, blah. But if I have to engage in a battle, I will.
Right.
J. Cole has kind of made it his moniker that, okay, well, I'm the bar dude out of it. That's what you come to my albums for, the bars, especially since the last album. And he's been great at it, especially his features. His features been crazy. And then to turn around and say all that shit that was not true, and I don't care about no comparisons or whatever to Jay-Z, because why would you make your response tailored in the same way as the nigga who lost? It just doesn't make sense to me. As a big Nas fan, it doesn't make sense. Just make your own or say something true to the situation. And like you said, I watched over the weekend all these hip hop pundits saying what we saying, including academics who nobody likes. Like, yo,
you know, it's a cold day in hell when academics is actually dropping some jewels. It's a cold day.
He like what you doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You talking about Kendrick quantity when everybody knows what Kendrick is quality. Like, that's what he does. He takes his time. Saying you still doing shows. Nigga, you doing a show. Drake just came off tour. What are you talking about? Kendrick's doing a sold out show, right?
Yeah.
That you went to, Kil. So, like, none of it made sense. And then for it to happen in this way, I just started feeling like what J. Cole has done for himself, and we can get into what y'all think about, like, what is J. Cole going forward. But for me, what J. Cole has done to himself is I can't even listen to you rap like that no more. Because I don't believe you, nigga. You coming across like a fan who's emulating what's dope. But then when it came that time, like, you just never been in that situation when you in the cypher and it's just on. Like Freeway and Cassidy, right? Yo, bring them over here. No cameras. Let's just do this. You act like you're not familiar with that environment. So how could you ever be the best?
Yeah.
And for damn sure can't really say it again, because it's sort of like every time he say it, we're going to be like,
nah, nigga. Nah. And I mean, I think, Vic, that's the hard part. Like, for people who are on Twitter, and I'm like, it's like rap to me is a sport. You know what I mean? And again, I always tell people it's how you were raised. You know, I was raised in the era where you battle all the time. In high school, I was known to rhyme. And a new kid transferred into my high school, and he said he rhymed. The whole school was like, yo, you got to battle Kil. Kil, you got to battle this dude. I don't even know the boy. You know what I mean? I ain't battle ready. I'm just like, niggas like, nah, you rhyme, you got to battle. I had to battle the boy. You know what I mean? We just kicking rhymes back and forth or whatever like that. But it wasn't no place for me to be like, I don't want to battle. Like, I had to, because you were an MC. When you said you were an MC, and we always talk about the difference between MCs and rappers, like I was telling T, dog, nobody, Kid and Play versus Kwame, nobody would have cared about that. Nobody would have cared about Dana Dane versus Redhead Kingpin. Why? Because they just was rappers. They was just chilling. They was having a good time.
Right.
But the Kanes, the Rakims, the G-Raps, the LLs, once you start talking that I'm the best shit, nigga, you don't put your hat in the ring now. See, Kid and Play and Kwame and Dana Dane and Redhead and all them, Little Sean, dope songs, dope rappers. But none of them was like, yo, we the best. I'm the best. Come battle me. Shit, it's been 30 years later. We still wondering why Kane and Rakim ain't never battled. Like, we still wondering that. You know what I mean? So when you say that you're the best, you're now putting yourself in the ring. And it's like, I can't, man. I just feel like the streets is dead. Like, I'm like, it's like how I feel like, nigga, is LeBron supposed to apologize to Iguodala after he blocked his shot? Like, my bad, man. I didn't mean to do that. I want you to shine in the light that God gave you. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I didn't want to do that. You know, Cole on stage. Oh, my crew wanted blood. Nigga, ain't nobody want no fucking blood. Stop being so goddamn dramatic. They wanted war. They wanted blood. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody want no blood. You ain't about that life, nigga.
Okay.
All niggas was saying was like, yo, your man got at you. What you gonna do? That ain't blood, my nigga. That's just spit some dope shit. You know what I mean? And I think that that's the part that's heartbreaking, because you talked all this shit. You talked all this shit. And then when niggas knocked on your door and wanted that smoke, now it didn't feel right in your spirit to go outside and rumble them. Now you want peace. Like, how convenient is that? Like you said, babe, that nigga need to redo every verse for his album, because I'm sure the whole album here and there is I'm the best and it's this and it's that. Take all that shit out, my nigga. Take all that shit out. Take all that shit out. We don't believe you. I don't even know if there's an amount of people that can help you at this point. We don't believe you. Fucking, there is not. We don't believe you need more people. It's just we don't fucking believe you, my nigga. We don't. It's a wrap.
You know what? This is a very interesting situation, and it's good for the hip hop streets because I don't recall a time in no era that one of the top people in that era almost did a career suicide to a degree. To the hip hop heads, in a way, not to the masses, because you know, really hardcore J. Cole fans look at this as this his character, this is that. They'll move past it. But a lot of hip hop heads, like, look, man, they want to hold you to the flame, like you went against the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like of saying you one of the great MCs of, because, like, you know, I did an episode months ago about every era has 3 or 4 kings in it, right? And he's one of the kings of the new era. Like when we think about the early eras of, you know, Mo D and Kaz and Mel, and then Rakim, KRS and Kane and Slick Rick, and then of course Biggie, Pac, Snoop, you know, Nas, everybody, and then up to DMX and Eminem and all that, all the way up to 50 Cent, Wayne, everyone. Every era has several kings, and J. Cole is one of the kings of the new era. And for a self-sabotage almost, it didn't make sense, because if he's on stage saying, hey, all my people and fans are asking for me to retaliate, it's the same way when Jungles told Nas, nah, we ain't finna let this takeover shit ride, my nigga. I know you don't really care, but we care, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you got to do something. And Nas was like, we've been throwing shots for years, but fuck it, eat the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, he asked for it. I just got to do it, even if I don't want to do it. And just like Nas said on Last Real Nigga Alive, it hurt me when I had to kill him and his whole squad for Dolo. You know what I'm saying? So it hurt me. I didn't want to do it.
Right. But I had to
do it. So Cole, you had to go ahead and do it. And I don't know, guys, if a little birdie sent Cole a snippet of some Kendrick Lamar diss that we'll never hear. I don't know if some shit happened where he didn't really want to deal with K-Dot, because there's more than one side to Kendrick Lamar. Go back and listen to that song and watch that video with him and Pusha T. You know what I'm saying? And listen to his aggression bars in that song. Kendrick Lamar is a battle rapper outside of that conscious shit you hear on To Pimp a Butterfly. And I think a lot of people say they want it, but when he throw the shot for real, the people he really throwing shots at, they really don't say nothing back.
Right. And look, there is a history of rappers apologizing to Kendrick Lamar. Complex put out, and I was glad they did it, because I already knew this shit, because I just remembered, like, hey, a couple of people done apologized to Kendrick for talking crazy, including Jay.
I know about this. School B, who was apologizing to the boy?
Off top, Jay Electronica did. Big Sean did in a lot of ways. Complex has an article, so they probably have more. But now you got J. Cole, and I'm like, this. I'll say this to the people watching. I ran back that diss record or that diss verse. That shit sound harder now, because it sound like one dude is all in hip hop, smoke, whatever it is. And when you go back and this is J. Cole, like, I'm just not expecting this dude back. He back to folding clothes. Like, that's what he like, yo, man, I'm just trying to fold these clothes.
I'm just trying to help my wife out right now, y'all. Come on, y'all, man. Let me just work with my wife. Let me just help out around the house. This is what more men need to be doing, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Right.
But you know what? I wouldn't even feel like that if he wasn't rapping the way he was rapping over the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, he was rapping more kind of aggressive on these collabs he was doing. So I'm like, okay, he on that right now. So I'm thinking that's a little jab he threw at K-Dot. He coming back with a real damn diss. You know what I'm saying? So I was very shocked about him going on stage doing it. Now, let me say this. On the other end of the spectrum, the reason why I said I was torn, I said this on Facebook earlier today, was, okay, if you don't feel it, no, you're going to catch some flack for it, because, I mean, he punked out to a degree. But would you rather someone punk out or WWE this shit and he don't really feel it, and he exaggerates some more damn lyrics and force a damn battle that he don't really want to be in, and he gets slaughtered by Kendrick? Because I really think Kendrick want to battle him and Drake for real. I think Kendrick like, you know what? I like these niggas a little bit, but I really want them to come back, because I got some shit in the stash already, and I'm going to release this damn song. I think Kendrick got a song for J. Cole and Drake right now. And I don't think that Drake, not Drake. Drake definitely don't want any. I don't think J. Cole really want that. He don't know what to say. I think he really do think Kendrick albums and everything is really that good. I think he stepped out there and said some shit that in his heart he really didn't mean. And so he's conflicted, man. And I understand this ain't a good thing, but it's like you step into the ring after the couple of rounds, you're like, man, I don't really want to be here. Now you are quitting. You Roberto Duran that shit. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's in him to really do this battle, man. Unfortunately.
Well, real quick, let me say this and then Kil, you could go. In my conversation today with the homie Ak, we basically got to a point where we started talking about what he could have done. Right now, obviously, he could have said nothing. He could have just dropped that mixtape, which is good. The mixtape is dope.
I think it's good.
And that would have been enough of a statement. I ain't getting involved. I'm good. Fall off coming soon. Right?
Yep.
Or his approach could have been more, he could have played more into that brother role, right? Like he could have pointed out the aggression. He could have pointed out what he would prefer, right? So it's almost like a diss record, but an olive branch at the same time. And I think people would have respected it because it would have kind of made Kendrick look too aggressive towards him. And that's the homie, you know what I'm saying? And he, not that it's like you won or it's the greatest battle ever, but if you really don't want to do this, you don't have to fake it. Use your actual feelings to respond instead of making up some shit that you don't even believe.
Hey Jay, Vay, what about like you just made me think about this? He could have indeed responded with a song that not even really a diss song, kind of like when Core Mega did that song against Nas. You know what I'm saying? That what's the name of that song Mega did, man? He answered Nas, man. Love In, Love Out, or something like that. I can't remember the name, but he was dissing Nas, but actually it's like hugging him and punching him at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I love you, but take these two pieces. Also, you know what I'm saying? Love In, Love Out, or something like that. I can't remember the name. I gotta look it up, man. But it made me think about that when you were saying that. Like, my thing is either address it in a song, whatever kind of song, but address it, or don't say nothing. But going on stage doing your speech, I have a dream speech is not working for hip hop right now.
That nigga said, I have a dream speech.
It's not working for hip hop right now. He put a real big target on himself. It was funny. My homie saying from the round table was like, man, I saw his tweet today. Like, man, I don't even want to hear the damn fall off now. And I think that this sentiment is something that's reflected with a lot of hip hop heads right now. Shout out to the round table. It's true. It's like when he did that, man, he really turned a lot of people off in this competitive sport called hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think he really hurt himself. And now the fall off is gonna have to be 5 mics, and we still won't believe you. You need more people.
Right. I think the hard part, and y'all know I always say it, choose your hard. Life is hard, so you gotta choose your hard. Some hards have a better place. So when I was trying to lose weight, it's like I could count calories, go to the gym. That's hard because I hate going to the gym. Or I could just stay fat. They both hard. But usually one of the hards comes with like a promise to it. So it's kind of like, but if I lose weight, it's hard, but I like the way I look. I like the way my clothes fit. There's a positive usually at one of the hards. Veg, I love what you and I did because I think one of the hards was just drop the album, just drop your mixtape and walk away. You answered it, called it a day. You know what I mean? Pray to God Kendrick don't answer and just keep it moving. The hard he chose is the hard that's going to come with some backlash. Because like you said, none of the heads are going to believe it. Now, the J. Cole stands, they don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. For them, they're the ones like, oh, my God, they're so beautiful. Look at black men. We're coming together. We're unifying. Fuck all that unifying shit. That's hip-hop. This shit is a fucking sport. I'll never forget. Nay went to a Christian school. Kindergarten and first grade. And we were at a basketball game. And the other team missed a free throw. And I was like, yeah. And everybody in the stands looked at me and I was like, the fuck? Like, and it's like, no, we don't cheer when the other team misses. And I'm like, the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, I don't care if there's a Christian school, it's basketball. Like, fuck is you talking about? We don't cheer when so what, do both teams win? Does nobody lose because it's God and God doesn't like losers? Nigga, that ain't how the way the fucking game is played. That's all I keep going back to Avon. It's just, this is not the way the game is played. Then I just won't come to no more Christian basketball games if I can't, clap when the other team misses a free throw. Like, what are we doing here? Like, that's not how the game is played. If you want to be the best, you got to rumble the best. You can't stand on your block and be like, I'm the nastiest nigga basketball player in my neighborhood, and then a dude come to challenge you in a game one-on-one, you be like, nah, my spirit don't feel right. Nah, you can't do that. Like, again, it just goes back to Avon. You talking about putting more time on the clock. You can't do this. Is not how this game of hip-hop is played. I'm embarrassed for hip-hop. The streets are fucking dead. Even Drake got at Meek Mills. Drake is more battle-tested than J. Cole right now because nobody thought Drake was going to come for Meek like that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so Drake is more battle-tested than J. Cole. So right now, this nigga's at the bottom of the motherfucking ladder right now, based off of this nut ass apologizing and then trying to make it sound good. They wanted blood. It don't sit right in my spirit. Nigga, you've been talking shit for 10 fucking years. You can't do that. If you don't want to rumble niggas, don't say shit. Just go about your career, rap, make good songs, and that's it. But all this, you know how niggas was saying he was throwing shots at Benny at Johnny's Peak joint.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Some niggas like, yo, that's the greatest verse of all time. That was the greatest verse of that year. All that hoopla, like I said, going back to his fucking quote, of course I'm trying to revive a sport that's dying. Then nigga, you don't revive the sport that's dying by bitching the fuck up. You don't do that.
And look, Kil and Bay, the funny thing, like you said about Drake, is this. People say all the shit they want to about Drake, but when Common was coming at Drake said, don't stay scheming. We can't wait to run into you. You know what I'm saying? He dissed Common, a legend. When he had Meek Mills on the ropes, he made a song, and that shit was playing in the club, too.
Dog, you know Meek Mills wasn't even on the ropes. I'm from Philly. Meek got knocked the fuck out. Meek wasn't on the ropes.
And look,
that nigga was out.
And look, and even though he lost the damn Pusha T, what up? He still did Duppy freestyle.
He still rumbled.
Go listen to Duppy right now. Yeah, that's a dope track. He was spitting some shit on there. It's just that Surgical Summer came on him after that. You know what I'm saying? But Drake is absolutely battle tested. When you think about it, he was in 3 battles. J. Cole punked out of his, and I'm wondering, Drake seemed like a little sneaky, calculated cat. Does he have something in the bag waiting in case Kendrick come on the attack? Because I wouldn't be surprised if Kendrick still don't attack them cats.
See, to me, Drake
is a confident dude, man.
Drake one of them niggas who will be like, yo, I pulled your ex-girlfriend from 8th grade. She's fucking on my tour now. Like, that's Drake shit. Like, he into that type shit. Like, then he pull like Rick Ross's ex or some shit. Like, that's Drake want to get you back on some sneaky civilian type shit.
Speaking of Rick Ross, though, with the 50 Cent situation, one thing, even when 50 was trying to do this, exposing about him being a correction officer and all this stuff, Rick Ross, to some people, win with good music. J. Cole is going to have to look. The fall off is going to have to be amazing, and it can't be too much braggadocious. I'm the best. It's just got to be a dope ass album with great songs, great damn concepts. And again, you win at the end of the day with great music, and that's the only thing that's going to save him at right now. Because hip hop right now is really short, throwing darts at him.
Yeah, the whole spotlight is on him. Like. One thing that's funny, again, having my conversation today, Ox said that this nigga basically wanted problems with everybody except for him. And that's basically what he said in his statement. I don't want problems with him. And one thing I wanted to get y'all take on, because, I said what I say on social media, because I just want to share my opinion here and there. But I also read a lot of what, people, or the different exchanges that were happening. And what was interesting to me, and there was so many times I wanted to jump in, but I was like, nah, because this is not difficult, right? Like, this conclusion that we've come to is not that difficult. But like Kil said in the beginning, spiritual is a trigger word for some of y'all.
Yep.
And so it doesn't matter if J. Cole wanted to smoke all the way up to this point. You heard that he couldn't sleep. and it was something in my spirit, and it's sort of like J. Cole. That's called fear, nigga. That's what that's called.
You talk to him, man. Talk to him, bro.
Like that's just fear. You don't have
that's
to.
What that is, my nigga. That's you got to rumble tomorrow at 3:00 and you can't fucking sleep. That's what the fuck that is.
You don't know what's going to happen. You playing out the scenarios, blah blah blah, and in the same breath saying, you know, my team won in blood. Well, what kind of team you got? If you such a spiritual dude that they the complete opposite from you. And first of all, none of them niggas is nice anyway, except for if that JID dude down with them, the Earth Gang, I fuck with them. They dope. But I don't think they would have ducked the smoke. Like, and it didn't have to get violent. It wasn't going to get violent. It wasn't going to be any of that. But I think in a lot of ways, when you look at the conversation online, that's the rebuttal. After I watched you niggas explain his whack-ass response for days, why do you have to explain it? That already tells you what it is. Yeah. So I want to, y'all have a lot of engagement and interaction online. Kil, I didn't see a million fucking posts from you. What has been the consensus of opinions for people you follow, those that agree and those that tend to disagree with what you're saying?
I think the majority of the people are saying like they're just like us, like they're disappointed. You know what I mean? One of my people said it best. Like, again, I think people are just mixing up this as like they're seen as Pac and Big. You know what I'm saying? And that somebody could die from this. Now, like I just gave an example earlier, if this was a beef between two like hood juggernauts, of course I would want it to squash. But again, that's why I was happy for this. I was like, this is cool. Like, this is the three boys who, you know, don't really get into that kind of rah-rah talk and not like that. So this is something that's dope. This is something that can stay on wax and everything like that. So I think the majority of people are saying that. I think I blocked so many of the coal miners that I don't even see what the fuck they're saying. You know what I mean? But I'm sure they're going to Cole's defense until the end of time because, like I said earlier, mental health, spirituality. It's like playing spades and you just got 13 big jokers. You know what I mean? Hey, Vay, why you ain't going to work today? Oh, mental health. Hey, you didn't finish that project. Oh, mental health. Oh, you came in late. Oh, mental health. Like, you could just keep playing that card with spirituality. And I was talking to people about, they was like, yo, but Kil, like, yo, if his guy told him not, I said, stop right there. See, now we're mixing Christianity with spirituality. Two totally different things. I ain't hear J. Cole say one thing about God, just how conversations get skewed because y'all start mixing things up together. Spirituality is totally different. If he couldn't sleep, it wasn't right in his spirit again. Where was that sleepless nights when you was bragging on yourself and how dope you was? Like, where were those sleep? You know, your spirit wasn't saying, come on, Jermaine, you need to be a little more humble. You know, you don't have all this talent to just go out here and brag. That wasn't spiritual, wasn't no spirits then. Oh, okay. But now that a nigga want to smoke, now you want to get spiritual and want to apologize. Like you said, Vag, it's a cold day in hip hop. The streets is dead. I don't believe a goddamn word J. Cole say. Don't ever say nothing about being the best. Don't ever talk about trying to revive a sport that's dying. On God, the best rapper alive. All that shit is done, man. I just want to hear Redhead Kingpin raps from you from now on, my nigga. Oh, make fucking party songs and just, I don't even know what you could rap about because you always rapping about you the motherfucking best. So I don't know what you're gonna rap about now.
Well, so real quick before Tone goes, this was interesting about him since he want to talk about albums. Now, the concepts that he's tried, the fans never liked them. They didn't like For Your Eyes Only. They kept getting on him about folding clothes and shit. I like that record. Like damn, y'all like that? I like it. And then the KOD joint, which I like, but they got on him about it. Like they didn't like it. So it's sort of like, well, now you can't do the thing you switched to because you tarnished it, you know, with this situation. So, Tone, what have you been seeing on social media regarding this situation?
Oh no, man, he been getting destroyed. You know what I'm saying, by a lot of people. You know what's funny is, you know, the guy Mad Slander. You know, we go back and forth all the time, and you know, we was on a podcast together a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, "Yo, these niggas gonna pillow fight, man. They ain't gonna end up being shit." So obviously when Cole did that apology, he tagged me and the other homie on there and like, this shit I'm talking about, these pillow fight niggas, you know what I'm saying? And I had to be like, damn it, I don't want to agree with this nigga, you know what I'm saying? And I had to. And that's my guy. Shout out to Mad Slam. That's why. But he was like, I told y'all. He said J. Cole is soft, nigga. He said it to me 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? So now this happens, and I'm sitting there like, then I got cats hit me like, yo, North Carolina, my nigga, what's up, Tone? This North Carolina, man. I'm like, look now, you know, I'm a ride from North Carolina, but I gotta call a spade, man. I'm torn because on one end, like I said, like, let's just say J. Cole really did have some kind of epiphany. Niggas in hip hop don't care about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So he might have really had some revelation in his mind, like, you know what? I don't want that kind of energy. I thought I did. I sat back and thought about it again. I don't really want to do that. But the fact that you put your hand out there already in the fire and then you backing off, people are not going to look at your lyrics the same no more, maybe potentially. So, I mean, I don't know, man. He really put a nice hurting on his, I'm not going to say his career. The dude is a great MC. He makes great music. He'll make more great music. The follow-up will probably be a dope album. But there will be hip-hop purists who will never fully embrace him again. You know what I'm saying? I think that really it has happened to him now. I think this backlash 3 years from now, cats might say, hey, man, you remember that time when, man, J. Cole kind of ran from Kendrick?
Nah. So no, niggas ain't never forgetting this shit. Real niggas ain't never forgetting this shit. Because this is a cold fucking day in hip hop, man. This is a bad one right here.
Ice Age of hip hop.
Yeah, this is real fucking bad. And I always tell niggas, it's about how you was raised. And I'll say this, I don't know how old Cole was. I just grew up in that era where you had the battle. It wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts. If you said you rhyme, you had the battle. And I ain't talking about this battle rap shit where I got to do fucking research on you and find out everything about you. I'm just talking about even if it's just you kick a rhyme and I kick a rhyme, you kick a rhyme and I kick a rhyme. Like, that's just what it was. We were at my man Drizz's wedding in Philly, and the singer came down from stage, and she was like singing a song. She was like, you know how rappers do, like they put the mic out to the crowd or whatever. Right. And she was coming by like wanting other people to sing the song or whatever. And T sings. And I told T in her ear, I said, if she gives you that motherfucking mic, you better fucking battle her ass right here. Like, tear her shit down. And T's like, God damn, it's a wedding, nigga. Like, but I'm like, nah, you sing better than her. You better punish her right now. So I just come from that battle era. Everything is a battle for me. When me and Nay do anything, it's always some competitive. How much you want to bet? What are we going to... That's just the era I come from. So I don't understand taking it back. I don't understand doing that. Like, you gotta just know that this is just what comes with it. I'd rather get my ass whooped than have niggas still being like, damn, you remember that time Kil ran on us? We was getting jumped and that nigga Kil ran. Like, I'd rather just take the beat down, take the ass whooping. Like, I got jumped on my own fucking block because I was like, I ain't fucking running. This is my block. Like, I ain't running off my block. Everybody else ran. It was just me and my man Mark, like 15 niggas from Old Guys Avenue. But I was like, I'll take the L, but I'm not fucking running off my block. That's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? This new generation is like, oh no, it's better to run and fight another day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but so, and then of course, then niggas got short memories. Y'all know something that happened in 2 days and niggas forget all about this shit. You know what I mean? This ain't when Tiger Woods got caught cheating and niggas was talking about that shit on ESPN for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Something is gonna happen tomorrow. Something new gonna happen with Diddy. We gonna forget all about J. Cole. So that's the thing.
He's banking on that. It'll happen.
Right, exactly. Like, niggas know, like, okay, yeah, I'll take this heat, but ain't nobody gonna remember this shit next week. We will. You know what I mean? And again, I saw that this is where hip hop was going eventually, even when it was like 50's like, yo, you lied, Rick Ross. He's like, no, I didn't lie. And it's like, oh yeah, I did lie. And nobody gave a fuck. I was like, oh shit, nobody cares. So then when Gilly was like, nah, look at this picture of fucking Wayne kissing Baby. And it was like, oh, I remember people telling me, Kil, what's wrong with that? Why can't a son kiss his father? I'm like, it's not his goddamn father, okay? And number two, I ain't never kissed my father on the fucking lips. Like, what are y'all talking about right now? Right. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares. And it started 20 years ago with shit like that. Vague, you know. Tone, you know. If Eric B got caught kissing Rakim on the fucking mouth, I don't give a fuck what songs he wrote. It's a rap. It's a rap.
I can never listen to Eric B as president again, my nigga.
Okay, it's a rap. You know, Drake finding out, like, here are the songs. The nigga did not write his shit. If that shit happened in 88 with Kane, don't nobody want to hear no goddamn Ain't No Half Stepping no more. It's like The rules have just changed and nobody cares. And I think that that's what people like Cole are banking on. That it's only going to be us purists. It's only the 45 and over crowd who are going to feel this kind of way. And he may be looking at demographics like, that's only probably about 30% of my audience. So the other 70, well, fuck them 30. They still going to listen to the album anyway. So I'm going to get the streams. And my 70 over here is going to hold me down. So at the end of the day, I'm cool with that.
Well, that is something that.
Yeah, and it's only going to be us old heads who are going to be like, and then the young boys going to be like, oh, get off your soapbox, so the fuck what? But again, he just played that card. That's all you got to do is say, it don't feel right in my spirit. And at that time and point, no one is supposed to, keyword supposed to, say anything, because how do you know that? Mm-hmm. Same thing with Ben Simmons. It was like, well, how do you know he's not having mental health? Because this nigga been lying on his dick for the past 10 years. That's why. This nigga ain't playing the fucking ball. Now all of a sudden, him and Rich Paul is just looking at anything. Like, what cards we got left? Oh, Simone Biles just said fucking mental health. Let's try that card. And it worked. And it was like, okay, let's roll with it. And then eventually we saw it had nothing to do with mental health. He's just a bitch ass nigga. So it's the same with Cole. I'm going to play the spiritual card. Everybody's going to love that. Nobody can say anything because it's spiritual, and we'll forgive them and we'll walk away. Cold day and hip hop, y'all.
And that's exactly kind of where I wanted to head anyway, because I look at the situation and like you said, okay, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Like, I mean, honestly, I've been there with people who I know who I'm thinking like, yo, this dude keep playing you. Y'all got to fight.
Right.
And I said that like, yo, y'all got to fight, because he's going to keep stepping over lines, and then he's going to step over our ultimate line, and he's not going to think you're going to do anything because you haven't presented any form of threat. And when I look at, what J. Cole said and what everybody's saying online, it feels funny to have people argue, what we know to be true, because he said spirituality and things like that. And I kind of feel like, so where do we go from here? Because this does something to the game, right? Like you said, Kil, ghostwriting. Okay, now we know, people from the past had ghostwriters and stuff like that. So maybe biting or even having a ghostwriter is a little bit more lenient. People, if you're not from our era, you're not even talking about other elements of hip hop at all. Right. It's just rappers. Mm-hmm. And even sales making you a top rapper versus skill and body of work and artistry and all those different things have come into play. So now, do you think that J. Cole is basically tainted battling at a point where it's never really going to be serious anymore?
I do, because I think J. Cole is, in my opinion, he's one of those top three. You know what I mean? So it seems like, I don't know, someone like you said earlier, I don't know how we just came up with three. Maybe it's J Big and Nas or whatever it was, Kane, Rakim, and G-Rap. But he's one of the big three. And I think, Veg, you bring up a great point with ghostwriting. I mean, the MCs who had ghostwriters, to me, weren't really MCs. Biz, Easy, Puff, people like that. It would break my heart if I found out Rakim had a ghostwriter, or if Kane did, or G-Rap did. Which, to me, these three are the equivalent of that. Like, J. Cole is one of the big three. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think it's tainted it. And I think that there are going to be people who look at this and they're going to be like, you know what? We shouldn't battle. You know what I mean? One of my people was telling me like, no, this is good. Black men working out their issues in another way. And I'm just like, bro, that's some shit that's a phone call. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to work out the issues, that's a phone call. But again, to me, it just goes back to let's make this shit simple. If you talk shit, you better be ready to rumble. That's just the end of the story. Like, we could just sum this whole show up with that. If you talk shit, be ready to rumble. If you talk shit on your dick, you better fuck the shit out of her. If you talk shit on the basketball court, you better fucking go out here and dunk. If you talk shit, be prepared to back it up. I don't know what this new generation. I've been working with kids for 24 years, and my kids in the hood, they back they shit up 100%. So I don't know. Maybe it's a suburb thing. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I just know it's that simple. If you want to talk shit, be prepared to back that shit up. So I definitely think it's tainted it, but it's a cold day in hell where we let niggas talk shit and they can just apologize for it when a nigga come to your crib to fuck you up. You could just be like, you know what, my spirit doesn't sit right now, so if we can just, forgive each other, because I want God's light to shine on you and you to be everything God wants you to be, and that person just be still cool the fucking next day, like, and I can still like, if maybe that's where we are right now. But I mean, hip hop is, again, y'all, this literally may be the most embarrassing day of hip hop for me.
Oh man.
Like, dead ass. Like, to have one of the great people apologize. I felt away when Jay apologized. Even when his mom was like, yo, you should apologize now. I'm like, no. Like, mom, like, thanks, mom, but stay the fuck out of this. Like, no, I'm not fucking apologizing. Like, I said what I said. Like, I'm niggas don't apologize to their motherfucking wives, my nigga. Like, on some real shit. Like, if we just be keeping it above, niggas don't even want to apologize to their fucking wife, fucking mother, their children. Niggas don't apologize to their kids. And you out here apologizing to some random ass nigga because you scared of the smoke? Like, what kind of fucking shit? Who raised you, my nigga? Like, I'm distraught. I'm distraught. And thank y'all for this platform, because I can't say this shit on Twitter because I'm trying to keep my account. I don't want to get banned. Right. But that's really how I feel. Who the fuck raised you? Niggas do not apologize to their wives.
Yeah.
Fuck other bitches and have kids on other bitch and don't apologize to your fucking wife. And you out here apologize to some rap nigga in front of thousands of fucking people.
Right.
Yo, you talk about some pathetic ass shit, my nigga. This is fucking pathetic.
On a battle that was pretty light also. So
yeah.
What's to your point, kid, what's crazy is this has never happened in hip hop history.
Never.
One of the greats of an era have never backed down from what they said. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then to play the spiritual card is just such a bitch move to me, man. It's like, it just screams Ben Simmons. It's just like, you just you're just trying to use a card to save face. Just say you don't want to hoop no more, but you don't want to say that because you still want to get the money. I mean, it's just like, yo, but look at how we look at Ben Simmons. This nigga's a pathetic fucking relic of himself. This nigga was supposed to be the next LeBron James. You are a laughing fucking stock. Nobody will ever fucking say your name in any type of high regard again, my nigga. All that shit last year, this the revenge season. I'm coming back. Motherfucker ain't played but, 12 games? Like, we will never look at you the same, my nigga, because you bitched out.
Yeah.
Bitched out in Philly and bitched out in Brooklyn. And again, I'll never look at Cole the same after this. Cole could drop 20 classic albums. My nigga, you ain't never living this down. No.
I hate that, man, because, again, I fuck with J. Cole. Obviously, I'm in North Carolina. Everybody know I'm from North Carolina, and I rock with him. But this was definitely, man, a lot of mixed emotions, man. Because when Veg sent me the joint, and I looked at it, I was like, damn, what am I looking at, man? Like, I couldn't believe it at first. Like, is he really saying this shit? Like, man, I wouldn't have said nothing. I'd have dropped this mixtape and just let it go if I don't want to deal with any kind of, battle with Kendrick and stuff like that. I wouldn't have said nothing, man. So, but I'm going to tell you, though, now that he's done that, he can never battle another rapper.
Nope.
It's a rap.
He retired from battle rapping by apologizing last night.
He retired from battle rapping. He apologized from talking shit about himself being the best. That nigga retired a lot of shit he may not realize. And you know what's on with it? Also the problem. It's not a problem. You know what it is? The rappers in our days didn't have fucking therapists. These new goddamn rappers got fucking therapists. And that nigga's therapist probably was like, well, if you can't sleep, baby, just go out and apologize. Just go apologize, baby, and everything will be okay. It's exactly what Vegas said, nigga. You can sleep because of your fear. I have been there. I have had to rumble niggas. I've had to get out of situations. I'm like, what the fuck? Like you said, Vegas, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. And he going to do that. And you try to figure shit out. You can't sleep. The fucking clock is ticking. Like, nigga, It's not something wrong with your spirit. It's like Vegas said, nigga, you fucking shook.
Yeah.
Okay? Like P said, you yellow back niggas.
You know what's so weird about it? Because I thought about this earlier. Like, has he ever been in this situation on some hip hop shit? Like, and not even on some sign shit. I'm talking about trenches. I'm coming up. I may take an L to this person, or I'm in a cipher and this dude is clearly better than me, but I gotta spit my raps like subliminals within a cipher. That's happened before, where you just in a cipher, you feel like some of that energy coming your way. So what are you going to do? And it just feels like, and I know it's on a much grander scale, but he didn't do his best, but it wasn't super ugly, right? Super ugly was all disrespect. It wasn't even rap. You know what I'm saying? And you can see why an apology would be there, because probably Jay-Z didn't like what he did. And we found out later he didn't like that. But you didn't do nothing. Like, what are you apologizing for? And like you said, saying, "Oh, my team wanted blood." Nah, man. You lining yourself up for more smoke from anybody. Because I know if it were me, I would be like, y'all don't want nothing. This y'all leader?
Nigga, it's open season on J. Cole. It's open season. Everybody should be throwing shots at that motherfucker.
And you know what? There's gonna be little lines from other MCs like "you backing down like Cole did" type shit. You know what I mean? It's gonna be bars about Cole shit, man. Like,
you 100% right too, bro.
Like, I have you on stage like J. Cole did. What I mean, you're gonna hear these lines. You're gonna hear him getting. You too great of MC to become like a you know.
Yo, can y'all see this?
Yeah.
It basically says, if I send this to you, I don't want to argue no more.
Yeah.
So that's basically, there you go. So, you know, I already hit T like, yo, when I send you J. Cole picture, just know I don't want no beef. I'm over. Like, I apologize.
See?
So the joke's already coming, my nigga. You know what I mean? So, you know,
hip hop is very unforgiving also.
Very unforgiving, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He should know this, right? You a student of the game. You trying to revive it. You trying to bring it back to something, but at the same time, you trying to play both games. And to your point, yeah, I totally agree. We just live in an era where that's not gonna matter. You know, when that album come out, it's not gonna matter. People are gonna bring it up, but it's not gonna be a subject of conversation. He'll always have to deal with it in some shape or form, but he can't talk that talk anymore. What I know he's gonna do, I know he's gonna do this. If he doesn't flip and try to drop a diss record, is he gonna talk about it from a moist position, right? You know, yo, blah blah blah. I didn't want my dude. The internet was killing me, and dog, just shut up. Just talk about politics. We
gotta act like this shit never happened, my nigga. That's what your team should be telling. That's the nigga in your corner should be telling you, we gonna act like this shit never happened, my nigga. That's what we gonna do.
But you know what? Something I said earlier in the show, I thought about it again just now. What's crazy to me is Kendrick don't look at J. Cole the way J. Cole look at Kendrick.
Oh, nah.
Kendrick talking shit like, there ain't no big three, it's me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think he meant that. I think he's always throwing these little shots at all of them, and he's been waiting for someone to really step all the way out there so he can release some shit. Like I said, I swear I believe he is ready for war. You know what I'm saying?
You know the crazy thing is with Kendrick is like vague, like you said, even with the control verse, I remember niggas, Fab, what time the studio open? Mad niggas was talking, you know, shit on Twitter. I think Joel sent a couple of shots, a couple of niggas responded. It fell on deaf ears. Like, niggas just don't want that smoke. You know what I mean? That's just at the end of the day what it comes down to. Niggas, and even the people who did respond to it, nothing came close to Kendrick's verse. Kendrick just gave niggas a verse. Niggas went in the studio and came out with whole songs.
Yep.
And not one damn rap nigga could tell me a name of any of them songs.
And you know why though, Kil? Because everybody who responded, not the people he really gave a shit about and the people didn't care about.
Right.
The people that he really wanted to respond back didn't say shit.
Didn't respond. Joel Ortiz. Like, nigga, Joel, nobody said your fucking name, my nigga. Love Joel to death, but ain't nobody say your goddamn name in that sentence, nigga.
We don't care about 10,000 balls from Papoose right now.
Right. Nigga, nobody said your name, man. Nobody said your name. It's like how niggas be like, yo, Kil, what you think about this? Then other niggas be chiming in. Nigga, nobody asked you. Nobody fucking asked you your opinion. One day they will, and when they do, be ready. Yeah. But as of today, nobody asked you, nigga. And I don't give a fuck. Yeah, they asked me, not you. Well, it's a public forum. Yeah, kind of, sort of, but no, nigga, nobody asked you. Nobody give a fuck about your opinion, my nigga. Go back to your fucking diary-ass timeline. We don't nobody fucking... Niggas be writing to themselves. Like, nigga, don't nobody like your shit, retweet your shit. Just you writing in your diary, nigga. You Alicia Keys. It's Alicia Keys diary-ass niggas out here. Want to give them they 2 cents. Nigga, nobody give a fuck. Stop.
which is crazy because when you think back to that Control verse, right? He say Jermaine like second, right? He don't even call you J. Cole. He call you Jermaine.
Yeah.
This nigga's wild disrespectful, and you get nothing.
Yo, niggas, I'm telling you, niggas do not want that smoke, man. Nigga, here's the other question I have for you guys. When I'm listening to that, he starts off as J. Cole. I'm not a J. Cole fan. I've heard every J. Cole album. So for people watching, when I say I'm not a fan, what I mean by that is that means I'm not like, oh, the new J. Cole is dropping. Like, I'll listen to it whenever. So it's not that I've heard every J. Cole album. I like J. Cole. I think he's an amazing MC. The thing that kind of threw me with the diss song was like, it seemed to be some like violent shots in there. Like he starts it off with like, my man, and I'm from the Ville, and we throw shots and we do this. Like it felt weird to hear him like this song towards Kendrick. Like, why are you talking about your man shooting and you had to calm your man down, calm your little man down? Like, no, if anybody do it, I'm gonna do it. Like,
bro, he was reaching, that ain't him.
Right, and I think that's the thing. Like now. But hasn't J. Cole, not saying that he's on some rah-rah street shit, but he has been like, yo, my peoples, and we do this, and we get down like this in the Ville, and this is where I'm from.
Well, let me tell you something now. Let me say
no, I'm not saying anything that's not that's not real. I know every state has, every place has their hoods that get down. So I'm not saying it like that, but it just felt weird coming from a diss song perspective that you're talking about that with this kind of dude, because Kendrick didn't throw no shots about Compton or Pyru, Crips, and none of that shit. So it's just
Rich and Kill. It's called Rich and Kill.
Yeah, the whole song was a reach.
Yeah, it just
like
reached
everything. It didn't even make sense because it didn't feel like that's what J. Cole would say, especially about like the albums. Like thinking about a dude like him to say To Pimp a Butterfly was gassed. Are you crazy? Like, you don't believe that?
You don't believe it.
Man, you can't believe that. That doesn't make sense.
That's the hard part, Big. Like, I think, how old is J. Cole? Like, do we know? Like,
35.
I know now because these swallowers on social media was like, yo, this man 39. He don't need to go through this. Like, what?
He in his mid-30s.
All right, in the mid-30s. Big, I don't think these people really know how to fucking play the dozens and talk shit. Like, they don't, because it's like you said, this happened the other day. Somebody was like, Kil, you an old man and your beats are whack, your beats are trash, and your beard is whack. And I'm like, well, goddamn. Like, I get it. You may not like my beats, but my beard? Now, come on. Now, if I'm a cocky nigga about anything, my beard is the shit. Like, come on, my nigga. And then Vegas, I tagged him with the vintage Bed-Stuy joint, with the hoodie bag joint. And I'm like, and this is trash? And like, just all the comments is like, these new generation, they was like, these new kids don't even know how to diss each other. Like, how are you trying to say the beats are trash and my beard is whack, where obviously I just played you Hoodie Vegas and everybody is loving it. The shit is crazy. So it's like, how are you going to diss To Pimp a Butterfly? Like you said, it's like, I don't think these young kids even understand. It's almost like they try to diss shit that's not bad. Like you're actually complimenting the person and it makes you look dumb. Like you said, to try to say To Pimp a Butterfly, like that was a snooze fest, and they gassed you To Pimp a Butterfly. Like, dog, like how are you? How Sway? Like I don't understand it.
And the crazy thing about hip hop is some of the hardcore J. Cole fan. And again, side note, obviously I'm a J. Cole fan, but some of the stans found their way saying all this ridiculous, crazy shit about To Pimp a Butterfly. I saw cats like, yeah, I get that shit 3 mics out of 10, 3 stars out of 10 star. Like, that's because you don't listen to the same album that I listen to, that concepts, those lyrics. You ain't listen to How Much Dollar Cost, Complexion, Mama, and Institutionalized. The shit that I heard, some Public Enemy type shit. But okay, fine. Maybe because Pete Rock didn't make it. Again, I get it. Pete Rock and Large Professor didn't produce it.
Right. So it's 2 mics, man. I don't get it.
Online are just culturally bankrupt. They don't get it because they have such a narrow view of music. And it's even narrower because of social media that I see it all the time. I don't say shit, but I see y'all. I see people steal shit from other people. Like I'm talking about post. Right? Yeah. they'll see a popular post and they'll just go find the original. And if they could download it, they'll do that just to create their own thing. They'll have the same narrative. And it's just the craziest thing. And it's not even burner accounts. It's like your main account.
Yeah.
And it's just it's like none of it. There's no rules. There's no boundaries around any of it. There's no originality. So to get somebody to understand Andre 3000's contributions to that album, Thundercat's contributions to that album, Terrace Martin's contributions to that album, the jazz, the funk, all of that, all the reasons why we love Outkast in that album.
Yeah.
And you gonna say that one was a snooze fest? That was gas? You disrespecting all those people who could get the fuck out of here. We don't believe you.
You know what it is, Vic? It's like you said, it's like there are no rules anymore. Like for like when I'm in my teen center, one of the hardest problems I have with trying to squash neighborhoods beefs is that, you know, let's say you from the east side and Tone from the west side, and y'all the main dudes. I could come to y'all and I could be like, yo, can we squash this beef? And then you go to your soldiers and y'all squash the beef. And it's like, yo, if you do anything to Veg's team, you have to see me. And if you do anything to Tone's team, there are no more leaders out here like that. So it's just, I don't have one person to go to. I could sit down with a whole group of teens and kind of try to squash it, but there's no repercussions. The repercussions was if Avon says, stay the fuck off Marlo's corner, I'm going to fuck you up. You stayed off Marlo's corner because you didn't want that smoke with Avon. Vice versa with Marlo's people. When you don't have the Marlo or Avon and everybody's just kind of moving at their own regard, that's why it's hard to stop these neighborhood beefs, because we could be like, yo, it's peace treaty, we good? All right, y'all. Thank y'all. 2 days later, somebody tried to bag somebody else's girl. He shot at him, and now fuck the beef is on again. And now it's even worse because we thought it was peace. Now we really don't trust y'all. So it's just Wild Wild West. To me, that's how it is in hip hop. Like, there is no more rules. Like when Ace is like, yo, there's a sign on the door, no biting allowed. I mean, that's what is hip hop. It's all biting. You know what I mean? Like, that's the hard part. Like, and I think that's where we're at now. It's just the Wild Wild West. You know what I mean? Like, the thing that was so dope to me about hip hop in our era was everybody had their own style, you know, and it was whack to do something the same. Nobody Tribe didn't dress like EPMD, and EPMD didn't dress like Gangstar, and Gangstar didn't dress like NWA. And on top of that, none of them rhyme the same. Whereas now this generation, they all dress the same. They all rhyme the same, and that's cool. I mean, the game is, I mean, dog, like this like the cherry on the motherfucking cake, man. This is just like the fucking the last nail in the coffin. Like, when one of the greats, because I agree with you, I think J. Cole is one of the greatest MCs over the past 24 years.
Yeah.
When one of the GOATs does this, man.
Let me ask y'all a question then. So with him being at this level and doing what he did, does this change the way people look at battling on a mainstream level?
I think it changes it regardless. Because I've seen a lot of people who are, you know, probably, or at least, you know, looking at their feeds or their timelines, probably more on the underground side as far as fandom, who were agreeing with J. Cole, haven't heard all the battle stuff, and it just gives an out that was never there before, and it's almost unnecessary, because if this was bubbling up to something that felt like it could be violent, I'd totally be with J. Cole.
Yeah, this ain't Gucci against Jeezy.
Right. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, please apologize. Like, please. Right. Please.
I'm with him. I commend him. I'd make a whole episode about it and all that. But this was light, and this was sparring, and it was friendly, and you calling him your brother, so you knew you was in safekeeping, right, with battling him. You know he ain't going to go so personal and tell him some things that you wouldn't want the public to know. You know what I'm saying? As far as something really crazy. But to do this is just more like, yo, you just punked out. And now we know why you don't have a verse from Jay-Z yet.
Uh-oh.
He knows something that maybe we didn't know. Because Jay Electronica got a whole album. He was on the same label. But right. You ain't get a verse. And I used to be like, yo, what's wrong with Jay? What was J. Cole nice? Why? Maybe there was one of them Cassidy Freeway moments. Like, yo, they over here, son. Like, let's get it. And you was like, hold up. Check with my spirit real quick. They're saying no, Mr.
Let me check with the Magic 8 Ball real quick. Shake up the Magic 8 Ball. You should not go. Like, Jay got to pass on that one. You know, I catch y'all on the background on the next one.
Right.
Yeah, bro. It's a cold day, man.
Let me just to end it off, ask this question, because it's similar to what Tone was just saying as far as battle rap, but this battle in particular, do you even care anymore? Do you care if Kendrick responds? Do you care if Drake says something? Do you care what J. Cole does next?
Nah, I've tapped out. Kendrick is the GOAT. That nigga just got crowned today. That nigga, I don't even want to hear what nobody else got to say. Kendrick, I mean, I didn't even know about these other people apologizing to Kendrick. It's obvious, like, this nigga's Marlo. Just call it a day. The West Side is his. It's a rap, you know. Let that nigga play poker and do what he does, man. You know, because I don't even care. Cole is damn near dead to me, man. As far as the braggadocious rhymes, like I'm interested because, like you said, Tone, if it was his spirit that talked to him, then your spirit should, keyword is should, maybe make you want to change some of the fall off then.
Yeah.
True.
Because if you've been recording, let's just say the album is done, then it was done during a time when your spirit wasn't moving like that. So we should scrap that and start all over again.
Yeah, because that means you're gonna release a project that's not honest to where you are.
Right. So to me, it's like you'd have to just scrap everything and just start all over again. And this is why it's dangerous to play the spirit card. This is why it's dangerous to play the fucking mental health card. Because it's like a lie. You have to keep this lie going. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got to keep it going. That's why it's hard to be a good liar, because it'd be a lie from 10 years ago that you got to remember. So, but
a lot of work.
Want to play the card.
What do you think, Tone? You eager to hear what Aubrey got to say? Or what?
Not really, man. I think that unfortunately J. Cole put a real big damper in this whole situation, man. Like he sucked the energy out of hip hop. In terms of the excitement that people say, you know what? He responded back to a little jab. Now we waiting for see what Kendrick and Drake gonna do. By going on stage saying this, it's like you pop the balloon, man, let the air out, man. It's kind of, and I think a lot of people are not gonna feel indifferent, like, you know. And then again, you know, maybe Kendrick will kick his ass while he down. You know, some grimy niggas will kick you while you down. So, you know, what happens if this Friday come up and Kendrick got a song and he started the song off like, fuck that apology, and go in on him, you know what I'm saying? Like, then hip hop's on fire all over again. And then what happens after that? I mean, I don't know if he'll do something like that, but I tell you, that'll be pretty damn exciting if Kendrick take the gloves off anyway. But you know, it's hard to keep the same enthusiasm right now with the big three, man. You know, with this happening, it's almost like we ready for a new big three now. Y'all time might be up now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the next young MCs or MCs to take the mantle now, man? Because maybe this is the end for the big three, and maybe we're not gonna be too interested after the tools and stuff over for a while. Maybe we won't.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think if Kendrick says anything, and even if it's a couple of bars for J. Cole at the beginning, it got to come with a project. Because if you really want to stomp, he got his own label now, so there is no wait. Like, we know you sitting on records anyway. You could just be like, here's my response, here's an album, King Kunta, like,
and that'll be dope, because again, that's what we thought J. Cole was doing. Like, he said his little thing, he dropped the mixtape. Like, yeah, that's good shit, and it's quality. He rapping his ass off on that.
Right.
Yeah. And then he apologizing his ass on 2 days later. So dropped the album on Friday, apologizing like a motherfucker Sunday night. It ain't even take 48 hours.
Hey, Kil, if this was the 90s and this is Source Magazine, if I gave you 4 mics, nigga, you go on stage and apologize, you get 3.5 mics now, nigga.
Nigga, you may get 3, man. Like, I may have to dock you a whole fucking mic, nigga.
Take a whole mic off from this nigga.
I would, it's all like you said, I would love for K-Dot to reenact that scene from The Wire. Like he be Marlo and Dr. Dre Prop Joe. It's like, did this nigga just apologize? That's not how the fucking game is played, nigga. It's about putting more time on the clock, nigga. That's not how the game is played. And again, it just, for everybody watching again, we from an era where rap was like sport. You can't be, because somebody did say, well, Kil, he said he was making an album and he didn't want those type of negative vibes around him. I said, bro, those aren't negative vibes. Those are competitive vibes.
Yeah.
And those should be the vibes.
Should be sharpening your steel.
Exactly. Those are the vibes you should be around. And this is where people get the rap beef, where rap battles mixed up. There ain't no negativity. You know what I'm saying? It's a competitive spirit. It's the same way I want to protect the quarterback, but nigga, guess what? You the quarterback, you get hit a lot, nigga. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, in a minute, you ain't even gonna be able to tackle the quarterback because you know everything is so soft nowadays. It's like, dog, this is a contact sport. If you hoop, you gotta battle. You gotta play against the best. We wanted to see Melo and Bron go up against each other when they was rookies. We wanted to see Iverson and Marbury. That's what made the NBA what it was Bird and Magic. That's what made the NBA that we got right now. All we do is sit around, Jordan or LeBron. That's all we do. You know what I mean? Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, like, dog, this is what we do. And when the time comes, you supposed to put in that work, nigga. You can't duck. My kids call it ducking that wreck. They were like, Mr. Kil, dude, you don't want that. He ducking wreck right now. You don't do that, man. You don't duck the wreck after you talk shit. You can't do it, boys and girls. You can't. It's whack. It's a cold day in hip hop. I appreciate y'all because I can't say this shit. I can't talk like this on Twitter. So I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah. So for those watching, just so you know, we said it before. We're gonna say it again. We are J. Cole fans.
Yeah.
Right. We dug the music. We dug the bar. It is highly disappointing to have it end this way when it wasn't that kind of a threat. You're trying to gaslight us by making it out to be something it wasn't. And if it was, well, just get to the meat of that or move on or whatever it may be. But to Kil's point, especially coming off a weekend where we had the best player in women's college basketball going up against the best team because they were undefeated, and we all wanted to see it, and it lived up to the hype, and you saw the fight and everybody and blah, blah, blah. And even WrestleMania, right? You want to see Cody Rhodes finish his story. That's not even real. This wasn't even real. But everybody was locked in because it was competition. It was pick your side and why this person better than that one. And he just let more than Nas down. He let J. Cole fans down.
He let the whole fucking world down.
Right. They've been all weekend. They've been fighting for you, bro. Fighting for your lyrics, explaining it, blah, blah, blah. And
you know, Veg, I'm glad you brought up the Caitlin Clark thing. Could you imagine if Caitlin just came to the game on Sunday and was like, y'all, I haven't been able to sleep and my spirit's just not right now. And I just want God's light to shine on Dawn Staley and that wonderful group of young women over there. And I just don't want to play.
I'm not playing.
I'm not going to play because it's not my spirit. I couldn't sleep last night. And, you know, everybody in here is a Dawn Staley fan. How do y'all feel about Dawn Staley? Love her. I love her too. So, you know, I'm just gonna walk away. That's
feeling cold, man.
That's the exact fucking shit that J. Cole just did. He came to the fucking fight and said, I'm sorry, everybody. I don't want to be here. Everybody loves Kendrick Lamar. How many people in here love Kendrick? I love Kendrick too. So we're just gonna, you know, my spirit. Like, no, nigga, you don't get to fucking do that, man. You don't fucking get to do that. Competitors don't do that. Bitch ass niggas do that. Competitors don't. You don't. You don't fucking show up at the show, fucking talk about your spirit don't feel right, nigga. You don't do that.
I hear the frustration in Kil voice.
Yo, it sound like frustrating to me, man. You don't do that. Angel Reese, you said you fucking love Caitlin Clark because she talks shit back to you because you talk shit to other girls and they don't talk shit back to you because they scared of you. And then you lose to Caitlin Clark and now you want to fucking cry. That's not the way the game is fucking played because you want to be crying if you want. I think if everybody would have been like, Cole killed him on that 7-minute drill, this shit, I don't believe this shit would have happened. If everybody's like, yo, Cole, wash fucking Kendrick, that shit, oh my God, it's over, fuck Kendrick, fuck all that shit. I bet every fucking pair of Jordans I got right here that this never happens. There is no apology. There is no fucking apology if the whole world is like, Cole is the king now.
What he could have did, right? Y'all like Kendrick? Kendrick fans, raise your hand. Let a beat drop, not 7-minute drill, another one.
Right.
Go in on stage.
That would have been hip hop. That's the shit that Jadakiss and Ben and Siegel and all those guys did. You know what I'm saying? And,
right. That's what Tupac did. Like,
absolutely.
I heard Hit 'Em Up in Brooklyn. I'm a Biggie fan, but I love shit like that. I love how it starts. I like more than his raps. I love how the nigga like whispering to himself, like, yo, no friends. Gearing up to be like, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat. Like, I love that shit because I'm like, Axe Nas, he don't want it with Hove. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like it. So I don't understand. That's what's so disappointing about him. It's like Kendrick did the same thing. Ain't no big three, nigga.
Yeah.
No hugs.
Yeah, Kendrick got the spirit of the old school in him. He got the spirit of fight in him, man. That's why I said he was ready. But to hearing Kil's opinion on this, like, you know, it sounds like J. Cole starting the ice age of hip hop.
Nigga.
It feels like it.
You want to know who did this? I'm sorry, babe. Kyle Lowry, who is from fucking Philly. I don't know if you remember, Vague. I know you a LeBron fan. When Kyle was in Toronto, they were playing, I want to say it was Cleveland. And like Kyle just like left. He left the game. Like in the middle of the fucking game, he went to the locker room and just not during the timeout. The nigga went, the game is being played, and he went to the fucking locker room and he said some shit like I had to decompress.
I think I remember that.
Look this shit up. It was in the middle of a playoff game, y'all. And I was like, that nigga ain't from fucking North Philly. Instantly. And I will never look at Kyle Lowry. He plays for the Sixers now. I'm still like, fuck Kyle Lowry. How the fuck did you just stop in the middle of a game and go to the locker room to decompress? The fuck does that mean, nigga? I don't even know what that means. But, and I'll never look at the nigga the same. That nigga is not from North Philly. That nigga's from Cheltenham or Lab Rock or some fucking Lower Marion. That nigga's not from North Philadelphia with that shit. Not with none of that shit like that. You need to decompress. In the middle of a playoff game, you need to decompress? Nigga.
Well, that's why they call it LeBronto. He couldn't take too much more of seeing the exit. But hey, he need to understand. I was a Knicks fan back in the days, man. I was like, if we could just get past Jordan, goddamn, once. Just get past him one time and get but yeah, man, like in general, again, there's a lot of disappointment, you know what I'm saying? In J. Cole in this situation, it was really unnecessary. We don't know what else could have been the catalyst for him wanting to do this. Maybe it's something beyond that, but that's just not the way he presented it on stage when he sat there and apologized. And I agree, it kind of puts a stain on hip hop going forward, because it's just saying that we can't be competitive when that is the true nature of MCing, is being competitive. If you're going to do that, you could be like other people like Currency or whatever, who's just like, yo, cars, weed, nice weather, and we still love it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to play that game, especially at that level, and get challenged by one of the big three, per what you said, you coined the phrase for these people. We just don't expect this from you. You know what I'm saying? We expect it a little bit more. So leave your comments in the comment section below. Let us know what you think about J. Cole, the battle. This era battling kind of tainted forever at this point. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Kil, tell them where they can follow you, about your podcast, music, and everything.
You already know what it is. Kil889, Twitter, IG. We'll make beats for food.com, apartment 5B, new apps every Monday. Vegas is always on. Tone always has the open chair. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know how much I appreciate this because I got the split personality. You know, I like Big. I always be like Biggie and Jay were like the same, but they were different. Like Biggie had warning and Jay had fucking friend or foe. Like Biggie is just like nigga C4 to you doing, and Jay is like more political. And I gotta be political on Twitter because I want to keep my account. But I like being able to be here because I'm able just to fucking be big and just be like, yo, fuck this bitch ass nigga. And why'd you do that shit?
Damn.
So yeah.
Tone, where could they follow you and tell them about your stuff?
Into the Dome, man. Tone the Dome. Twitter, you can find me. Same with IG. The Dome Podcast on YouTube. Into the Dome website. Still got joints on there if you haven't seen some of the old articles and things like that, man. So, yeah, man, just having fun talking about this thing called music, man. You know what I'm saying? Every genre. You know what I'm saying? We enjoy it, man. But, you know, we're going to see what happens after this Big 3 situation, man. The streets are talking.
One more thing. I totally forgot about this. The craziest part about this with J. Cole is he wants to be a basketball player.
Oh,
so the problem is you are an athlete. You are competitive. You understand this first fucking hand, how this game is played. Because wasn't he like playing for the African team? He was playing for like a team. So you're an athlete. You understand how this game goes, my G. So there's literally no excuse for this. There's none. Because you're an athlete, you understand being competitive. I'm sorry, I'm beating a dead horse. I'm sorry.
Well, look, when you tuck your sweatpants in your socks and you think you're the one Robert Marley because you ride a bike around town, don't make you him. Right? Yeah. Just go on and do the cool shit, you know. Just all right, you said what you gotta say, go live your life and do whatever. I am not gonna make another video about this shit. This is the third video in like a couple of days because it
keeps all going. It's the gift that keeps giving.
Right. But obviously you can follow me on Vegas War INC on all social media platforms. Trying to get to 500 subscribers right here on the channel. Hit 400 recently, so 500 is not that far. I've seen some very trash ass channels with way more than 500. So you like what we're talking about and how we talk about it, subscribe to this channel right now. And more importantly, share it with people you know enjoy this kind of content. Till next time, y'all, we're not critics. We hip-hop heads. We hip-hop fans. We love it. You know what I'm saying? And we got jobs. We grown-ass men. So y'all can argue all day. We ain't got to do that shit. Peace.
All right, y'all.